Greetings and welcome to Real Men Feel. I'm your host, Andy Grant. I'm an author, speaker, coach, and healer. Check out theandygrant.com to learn more about me. Real Men Feel is all about reminding men that they are human and are entitled to feel and express the full range of emotions. There are not some emotions that are only for women and some that are for men. Nobody can take away your mythical man card due to anything you ever feel or share. One of the goals of this podcast, of my books, of my coaching, is to be inspiring. But whenever someone tells me I'm inspiring, I try to deflect it. Some of that is being humble. Genuinely, I believe that should be the case. But at times, I can also notice strong resistance and outright rejection of that praise. I might even try to argue with someone about it, which is ridiculous. This sort of experience showed up big time in my first guest appearance in about a year when I was on the In the Blood podcast with AC Fischer and Jason Moore recently. The written description of the episode, once it was released, reads, husband, traveler, actor, speaker, teacher, podcaster, learner, activist, coach, healer, and author are all words that could be used to accurately describe Andy Grant, me. As impressive as these are, though, they don't even scratch the surface of who he is. He's been dubbed the king of authenticity because of the transparent ways in which he presents himself and his emotional journey. He certainly lives up to that moniker in this conversation. He's an inspiration to men all over the world because he teaches us that it's okay to be emotional, it's okay to be expressive, and that a real man is anything a man is. We're not confined to the box of societal expectations. We are beautiful and powerful even when we're in tears. That's hard for me to say out loud. Now, I agree with all of that, and I'm proud of it too, but it feels like a bit too much. Like we should just keep this to ourselves. Let's just keep this quiet, all this positive stuff. Then in the actual show, AC surprised me by saying that I was a personal inspiration to him. He went on to say, thank you so much for showing us that it's okay for us to have emotions, that it doesn't detract from our masculinity, telling us that it's okay to cry, it's okay to experience the full realm of emotions. It's just okay to be us. Andy, I don't know if you really grasp how big of a thing it is that you're doing for your fellow man. I need you to know right now that you're one of my personal heroes, and I'm so thrilled to have you with us today. Now, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here. This isn't a look at me show. Real Men Feel is about having conversations that most men aren't having, but that we can all benefit from. Even if it's me talking to myself, or I guess I'm talking directly to you right now, actually. Someone who listened to that full show, that In the Blood show that I referenced the intro to, wrote to me a message saying, this is incredible. Thank you for your advocacy. You're so talented and with such an impressive background. I wrote back saying, thank you. Perfect timing as I'm preparing to do a show about receiving praise and the discomfort it can bring. That let me laugh off the feedback because I can proudly own my authenticity and my vulnerability, my willingness to be seen. But to ever say, I'm so talented and impressive, that's not happening. I'm just being me, which is hard to see as a talent. But on the flip side, I should be the most talented man on earth at being Andy Grant. I recorded an interview earlier today for a future Real Men Feel show. My guest, Dan Mailer, said that he was a big fan of the show, and it was an honor to be on it, which is still a weird thing for me to hear, to be honest. I told Dan what I was planning to talk about in the next show, this one, and he said so many men have challenges accepting compliments. But it's as simple as just saying, thank you, right? You don't have to argue with them. As much, right? You don't have to disprove it. Just, even if you don't agree with it, just thanks, right? Give someone the gift of receiving their gift to you. Right? I was talking with another friend yesterday, and I mentioned the difficulty for men in receiving praise. He said he wanted to be admired, but when someone tells him that they admire him, he feels uncomfortable. It makes him squirm a bit. I asked why he thought that was. He said, worthiness. And I agree. That is what it comes down to. If we can't fully accept our worthiness as men, if we can't own our maleness, to quote Jed Diamond, receiving any sort of praise is very uncomfortable. It can make us feel like a fraud or that we're dealing with imposter syndrome. This unworthiness, I find it usually comes from our upbringing. Now, it can be blatant and obvious if you had a father that would just scream, you're worthless and weak. You can't do anything right. You aren't going to amount to shit. It can also be subtle. Something like getting all B's on your report card and being told, better luck next time. If you got the message that whatever you did wasn't enough, it's going to add up and stick with you. Then there are all the distorted messages about what it means to be a man from society, pop culture, school. If you don't look this way, dress this way, drive this car, date this woman, well, then you really aren't a man. All of that is total and absolute bullshit. You have value simply in being. Your existence is all the proof of your worthiness that the universe needs. So I invite you to accept it too. Just be you. You are the best you the world could possibly ask for. Wherever you're listening to Real Men Feel, please subscribe, follow, give a rating, a review, post a comment, share this with somebody. Give us some praise. I can take it. You can always reach me at realmenfeel@gmail.com. And until next time, be good to yourself and praise be to you.